Hi, this is Charles with a watched game between Chris Millertime and myself of Combat Commander Europe on Wargameroom.com. Um, it was Fat Lipke, and I played the Russians and he played the Germans. I made a mistake in my initial setup here. I accidentally left my leader up in the top left, but it ended up being a pretty fun game anyways. Um, Everything in the game is pretty much automatic as far as setup goes and tracking. You'll notice later in the game I'll scroll over to the right and it'll show where the objectives are, but basically my objective turned out to be 3, which is right there where the mouse is right now down at the bottom left. Now I've sped the game up 4 times its normal size, so the total game probably, if we finish the whole thing, would have taken, I'm guessing, no more than 3 or 4 hours real time, with rules checks and different things happening and stuff like that. But we were able to do this game in about an hour. So each time that I clicked a unit to move, he had the chance to do opportunity fire. It would stop the game and ask him about that. There's a lot going on with this game as far as opportunity fire and reactions and cards and things like that. And it worked out really well. I just really enjoyed the mechanics of the game here. Fortunately, I got some move cards here. You'll see I did some moves here and got into some cover and was trying to get some fire lined up on that building down at the bottom left there, in case the German player decided to move into there, which he did. And out in the top right, I didn't have my leader in the correct place during setup, so basically moved one unit down to try and cover that building there and take that objective too. You'll see he has his German units down the very bottom right, which he's moving up the road there. And later on in the game, I was able to get a hit on it and suppress him to where he wasn't very effective. He made use of the brush at the very bottom there to advance up against me and try to get some position on me. I didn't have much cover coming down and trying to take that building, but we just basically ran for it, and it worked out pretty good. I think there in the beginning he didn't have a fire card, and once he didn't react to that first unit going, I knew it was kind of safe for the rest of them to go. I was on a road, which is +1 to his attack. I sort of forgot about that. I lost command and control. As you'll see later on in the game, the command and control is not really a part of this game, but I got my leaders were damaged and they were all my units were out of range of my leaders, and an event happened. Every single one of my units got suppressed, which was pretty funny to see all the suppression markers on the board. I was pretty surprised when it happened. But if you get a chance to go to wargameroom.com and check out this module, it's really good. I'm hoping he does more scenarios. Like I said, it played really quick. It's very intuitive. Everything that you could do was an option in the game, and really didn't have to stop and look up any rules. The only thing that's a little tough with this module is that the cards are not displayed as far as the full text of what they mean to do a certain action. And sometimes it'll come up and ask you if you want to do something with a card and you're not quite sure. Now if you look down at the bottom, each time that you do an action, a fire, things that are automatically happen. So if a unit only has one person to fire at, that unit will automatically be targeted. So if you played a fire marker and activated a leader, it'll say, do you want to activate everybody with his command radius or let you select them individually? And then after you select them, if there's only one target, that target will be highlighted for you automatically. And if there's no other actions required, it will basically do that for you too. So the speed of this game using Wargameroom is just amazing. Now if you have a reaction card or the initiative card, it pops up immediately on the other player's side and says, hey, do you wish to re-roll this? Well, if you're not sure what just happened, you can look down at the bottom left and kind of scroll through and see what's going on and calculate the values, because you'll see as the fires are played, the fire totals are fire combat totals are added up for you, and you can kind of take a look and see if that's what you want to do. One thing I liked about playing with Chris is he wasn't afraid to use the initiative card, so there was a lot of back and forth going, and when that happens, it seems like there's a lot higher attacks because you're going for the kill, and just having that initiative card when it counts. So you can see when you do a move order, the areas that you want to move into highlight in blue, and then each time I advanced into or moved into a space, he had the chance to react to that movement. So I'm going to play a fire card here. The hindrance is calculated automatically, and you'll see that listed again down at the bottom. You can do your actions just like you can in the game. It's just amazing how much work went into this module. Looks like we took a quick break here. And if you don't have a card to play, it'll tell you, and you can also click on the check LOS so you can check line of sight between two units. One of the tougher things about Wargameroom is that the undo feature is a little difficult. So if you ever get into a situation where you just made a mistake, you can always click quit, or most of the time you can click quit before that mistake is applied, and it'll go back to the beginning and let you kind of redo everything. You'll notice when he makes fire attacks, it lets me select which units take the attack first. I don't know if you saw the option just now to transfer weapons. So things that I've forgotten about when I play the game myself, it helped me learn a little bit more about actions that are available that I've just kind of forgotten about. You get used to playing a certain way, and you read the rule book and you try to understand a game, and then you play it and you don't go back and read the rule book again, like from start to finish, and you'll miss those little tiny details. Like this game really exemplified the perfect game in the sense that it said, hey, here are your options, where if you don't know the rules completely, you won't know exactly what you can do as a possibility. So you can see when it asks for a reroll, that's where the initiative card is coming into play. So the Germans are attacking the building, the Russians in the building. Up at the top left, I'd accidentally made a mistake using the module and separated my leader from my unit, so I got him back together. So now we're going to do a fire order. We selected the leader, selected all the units to combine fire and attack. Now the one behind the building can't fire. He's going to have to do a separate fire attack. And I think he broke the units in the road down there. Doing a move order. So the German player plays foxholes in the middle of the road. And a unit was forced to retreat. Just checking line of sight. That's kind of what it looks like. Wish that was a little slower so you could see. But basically, you click on one hex and another, and it draws a line right in between. An event just happened, so it asked me which of the German units in the open I wanted to suppress. German's doing a fire attack against the guys in the middle of the road. Got a sniper. And it was kind of tough to watch what's going on here, but watching the whole game in real time for an hour would probably be so droll it would be impossible to stay awake for the whole thing. But this is a great overview of how the game works, how this Wargameroom.com module works. There's another tutorial on my channel there that shows you how to use this module, how to use Wargameroom, download the modules, and connect to other people. It's very it's a little tricky as far as the firewall portion, but if you can open up ports on your firewall and you know how to set up a static IP on your machine, you can host a game. And if somebody else knows how to do that, you can connect to them and play against anybody, because it runs on your computer, not on a server. Like Vassal runs on a server. People connect to the server and share information there. So Wargameroom has a little chat room. You just type your name, like Charles_CCE, and that way people see your name and know you're looking for a game of CCE. There's also combat commands and colors ancients on there, and maneuver is a really good implementation. 1989, Twilight Struggle. It's just amazing, all these great games that are on there, and it's great for beginners because it helps show the options that are available to you, and it's great for the older players too, I think, just because it helps refresh some rules that you might miss, and also playtime is just knocked down, so it's tough to get 4 or 5 hours to play a game like this, where we knocked this out in an hour. Probably if we went all the way to the end, it would have been an hour and 20 minutes. So about 2 minutes left in the video. I'm hoping that event happens where all the suppression markers pops up. That was kind of funny. But if you'll notice, my leader in the middle there is about to be suppressed. The leader on the top in the woods there is suppressed. So when that event happens, everybody's basically out of command. So I started discarding cards as fast as possible. I think the Russians' discard limit was 3. And trying to get a recover to get rid of all the suppression markers. And tried to rout Lieutenant Winkler down on the bottom right hand corner there. Activating for fire. The green units participate in an attack. The top one behind the building is attacking to the right, down at the bottom right. Have an event for the Russian fire attack. And that's when all the suppression markers came up. So, that was kind of funny. So if you ever feel like practicing playing this, you can actually open 2 copies of the game and connect to your own machine by using your own IP address. And if you have dual monitors, it works out a lot better, but you can basically play the Russians on the left and the Germans on the right. And there's so much happening with the random events in this game that even playing solo is a lot of fun. There I was trying to get the recover card so I could get rid of all the suppression markers. So he was moving up on the bottom, and I was afraid he was going to try to melee my unit who was already suppressed. There's a few seconds left in the video clip here, but eventually I did get my recover card, and all those units were recovered. And we got to the end of the turn, and I had a time marker hit, and I'm actually really wanting to take the objective 3 there. That seems to be a big one for me, and if I can get in there, I just keep hammering at them and get them killed. So I hope you enjoyed the demonstration, and take care.